Yeah, when
From WHYY in Philadelphia, this is Fresh Air. I'm David Bean Cooley, in for Terry Gross. HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Hello, everyone. All right, it looks like we're live now. I'm David Pettyjohn here with my new radio show, Real Interviewing Hours, with my friend Shannon Blunt here. Introduce yourself, Shannon. I'm Shannon. I guess everyone would know you.
I'm Shannon Blunt. I'm the general manager of WMIU here at Longwood University.
Cool. All right. Let's see. So I guess a lot of the listeners would probably already know who you are, but let's see. How did you really get into the radio show and comm studies department, all those things?
Well, I guess comm studies, I started off as like my dad. He edits videos and does commercials and advertising, and he worked for NBC 12 for a long time. So I was like exposed to that when I was young. I always helped him with his like projects where we would do like time lapses and like go out and make videos, and I would go and help him. So I got into the comm department that way. And then freshman year during LSEM, we took a tour of the station. And I like immediately was like, I want to have a radio show. Like I walked in the station, I was like, this is where I want to be. And I chose this as my medium at college.
Do you know if you'll probably do something like this as a job after here?
I have started to look at internships, including Pandora, iHeartMedia. I have looked at some of the internships that are available in Richmond Radio for the summer. And I could see myself working at a radio station, but I also could see myself working as a video editor. So like, no matter where I end up, I'll be happy, I feel. So
Cool. All right. One second. Yeah. Right. All right. And so that's a good introduction there. For real quick, we're going to give you our news updates here and your local weather. For international news, from USA Today, Maria ravaged Puerto Rico, still struggling to provide health care to residents. Puerto Rico's healthcare system is being pushed to its limits in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria as hospitals and clinics grapple with crippling losses of food, power, fuel, and medical supplies. And then in national news here, from the Washington Post, Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price has resigned after criticism for taking charter flights at taxpayer expense. Tom Price, President Trump's embattled Health and Human Services Secretary, resigned Friday amid sharp criticism of his extensive use of taxpayer-funded charter flights, the White House said. That's from the Washington Post. And then local news from the Southside Messenger. Out of the frying pan, Farmville man arrested in Arizona with 1.5 kilos of meth while out on bond for meth possession charges. 2 Prince Edward County residents are in custody this week after being charged on drug trafficking charges in Arizona. And then for your weather here, I have an update on that. It is currently 74 degrees. We have a high today of 78 degrees and a low of 52 degrees, and the weather is sunny. And for tomorrow, Saturday, it'll be mostly sunny with a high of 73 and a low of 45. So, there we go. So, back to you, Shannon. I was wondering, is anything like really like, what's something like funny that's happened here? Like, has anyone ever like put their mouth too close to this microphone? Or something like that?
Oh, of course. I have watched people like have their lips on the microphone, and that is very disgusting, and it really bothers me because a lot of people are always up on these microphones, and we try to keep the station very clean. We recommend like a good finger length apart from the microphone, because you'll still get that good like crisp sound without being too overbearing and without sounding like you're too far away. Because if the further you move back, the further you sound away, and that's something that some people have to work on. But I have watched someone literally like have their lips on the microphone, and it's absolutely gross. I can't stand it. Please don't ever do that if you come to the station.
I mean, I can sympathize with that. It looks like a big marshmallow, kind of. It's kind of squishy like a marshmallow, you know?
Yeah, it definitely looks like a black marshmallow. The front part.
All right.
I am so tired today. I have not been sleeping good this week. I've had a rough week. I got 2 speeding tickets. Yep. So I am barely hanging on. I am surviving, not thriving.
What is going on in the high octane life of Shannon Blunt that gives you 2 speeding tickets in 1 week?
I drive too fast. It's because I'm very impatient and I want to get where I'm going. So I drive too fast. I was going 70 and a 55, and I got pulled in Cumberland. I was going 6 over there on the hill on 4th Street. Got pulled over. Got a ticket both times. Very upset about it.
Cool.
I was like, really? I can't win. It's great.
Well, I thought I'd bring this up. We all know about the most important news that's going on in the world today, and that is that Twitter is updating their character limit to 280 characters.
Yes, that's a big deal. That is a huge deal. Actually, you tweeted about it. What was your tweet?
I said that I still haven't gotten 280 characters. I'm still at 140. Twitter must be afraid of my power.
I agree, David. I don't think Twitter's ready for your power. I haven't noticed anything different about it. I know that there is the availability to do it, but I've never had much to say on Twitter other than like stupid little quotes about my day or like what's happening in my life, and they're like, "Oh, I got hot chocolate today." Whoa. Nothing like would change someone's life if they read it. So I don't understand, because it was their whole basis of Twitter was that they would make short posts and it would be like fast reads, but they've decided to give people more.
You know what's great now is that people have made that into like a whole in-joke. So there's this one guy, he's like an indie musician I follow on Twitter. His name is Leon, and he posted this thing, said like, so now that we have 280 characters, forum post signatures are back. And he has like you know, like those old like chat rooms you go on maybe like in 2005, and they have a banner at the bottom saying like your favorite like movie or whatever, or your favorite edgy emo band.
Mine used to be like Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars with like 2 little star signs at the edge of it and a like squiggle in the middle, because I needed to let people know that they're perfect just the way they are with every text message that I've sent. I miss those. I would gladly have a signature. It probably wouldn't be like some cutesy stuff, but I have a signature on my emails it's really long. It's like Shannon Blunt, WMU manager, Lady Jones, class of 2019, communications major, digital media, art minor. It's just like really long, and I feel bad for anyone who has to read my emails, but like at least they know what I am. That's important.
There was a good forum signature thing I saw. It was a tongue-in-cheek thing. It's like 90% of teens abuse drugs. If you're one of the 10%, then repost this.
Oh no. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But Twitter's more fun if you just like reply directly to people.
How so?
Like for example, there was this guy, so you know, there was the whole controversy, the whole kerfuffle, if you will, over the
kerfuffle
over the NFL kneeling protest thing.
Yes, that's big in the news right now.
And so there was like some cartoonist that drew this really, his name is Ben Garrison. He does these like really wild political cartoons, and it shows like a player for the Cleveland Browns, and it says like the Cleveland Reds, and he has like a hammer and sickle on his chest or something. And I replied to this one guy who posted a picture of it, like, look at this crazy thing. I said like, oh no, I can't believe my eyes. The Cleveland Browns are rushing the end zone in a T-34 tank, and their main gun has just killed the Cowboys' defense. I can't believe my eyes.
If you haven't, I suggest you go follow David on Twitter, because it is fire all the time, and it's one of my favorite Twitters. I'm gonna pull up your Twitter right now. because I'm so excited about it if it'll load.
I posted this one picture that I thought was funny, and it did not get any retweets or faves. And I'm kind of
It's
salty
okay.
about it.
Sometimes you gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like, I
Talk-
don't get too many like people commenting or liking my posts.
Talk me back from the ledge, Shannon.
Let's see.
Yeah, if you go to the last, like...
Oh, you have some really like.
Oh, here's the one that did not get any retweets. So look at this. Read
Welcome
this.
to City 17. You have chosen or been chosen to relocate to one of our finest remaining urban centers. Is that the guy? What is this?
That's the guy. He was in, like...
He's
stock,
in some commercial.
You know that's those stock photos that have the same old man in them?
It's
His
the
name is-
old man stock photo.
And
All right, that's funny. That's a good one, David. That's good.
See, I'm good.
Oh, look, that's me.
Yeah.
The hard-hitting interview that on your first show. I tweeted about it.
Hard-hitting.
I plugged you.
Oh, I
Was it-
retweeted something else that was funny.
Right,
Yeah.
let's see what's on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Right now, I've got I just wrote a paper for Stouffer's class called. It was about Macbeth, the play on campus opened on Wednesday, and I wrote Macbeth opens with a McBang.
I remember you said something about that.
I was really excited about that. I thought I was really funny.
You are funny.
I try to be funny, but half the time I'm just tired and I say things that people like consider funny.
Have you ever been in theater stuff?
No, because I like to laugh a lot, and I'll be like serious for like 5 seconds, and then like I'll be like, "Did you just see me?" It's great. We have to do stand-ups for Halliday's class. You know this, that like you have to report the news, and so I took it in like 5 takes because after each one I would either laugh or I'd mess it up and go, "Dang it," or like I have the one I finally got. I said it perfectly. I ended it. I waited 5 seconds and I said, "Oh, I'm so lit," really loud, and I have that on video of me screaming that at the camera at Hallie Parker, who was filming for me, and she was like, "Shannon, you did it so perfectly, but how did you go from so serious to so lit?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's just like how I am." So if you come to our radio meetings, I'm pretty much like that the whole time. I can be really funny in the beginning. I'm like playing music and like dancing around, and then when we got to get down to business, we get down to business, and it's pretty good. Pretty good. I really love being the manager of the station. It's my favorite. The station is my favorite thing.
You saying "I'm so lit" after like coming from so serious reminds me of that time that my mom dabbed in Kroger.
You what? Your mom dabbed in Kroger?
Because it seems just so out of character, and that's why you reminded me of it.
But like, why did your mom dab in Kroger? I need some content.
Because that's just the kind of thing she does in Kroger.
But like, what did she like see something in it? She was like, I
No.
better dab now, like a dab of salt, and like dabbed. Like
that's what my brother introduced her to the dab, and then she just had a dabbing fever. She kept doing it.
dabbing fever. How old is your brother?
He's like, he's 17 now.
He's 17.
Yeah.
How many how many brothers and sisters do you have?
One brother, that's him, 17, and a younger sister. She's 12 now.
So you're the oldest of 3.
Yeah.
Aw, David's the older brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the youngest, so I have no relation. So I don't know. I'm the one that's annoying.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad your mom has dabbing fever
Yeah.
in Kroger's.
So yeah, my mom's probably listening now. So shout out to you, Mom, dabbing in Kroger.
Dab
Thanks.
away.
Dab away.
Dab away.
She taught my grandfather to dab too.
That's fantastic.
With that. Let's see. What else is there to talk about? So, what have you been reading or binge watching on Netflix recently? Anything?
All right, so on Hulu, I just finished watching The Handmaid's Tale probably about a month ago. Really good watch. I think everyone should definitely watch The Handmaid's Tale. It is a Hulu original, so you can only watch it on Hulu. And it's about like this this group of people like took down the government and started their own. They've taken America, and now it's called like some other like country, and like they have a problem with having kids. Like no one can have kids in the world anymore. Like they can't have kids, so they take the people who like the few like 30 ladies in the country who can have children, and like try to force them to have children. And it's like this really good story, and it's really deep, very like it goes back and forth between like the time before the America was broken down into now, and it's just like really cool. And I'm also watching The Ranch right now.
Never heard of that one. What's that?
The Ranch. It's have you seen That 70 Show?
No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness, David.
I know.
All right, That 70 Show is like my
culturally-
favorite show ever. And besides The Office and That 70 Show are my favorite. But like The Ranch is got two of the people from That 70 Show, Ashton Kutcher, and the guy who plays he plays Kelso, and the guy who plays Hyde in That 70 Show. And it's about like they live on a ranch with their dad, and like it's this whole long story. There's like they have parts, and each part has 10 episodes. So it's like it's weird. It's on Netflix. Really good. Like I've gotten really attached, and I have a problem with getting attached to characters. Like when I came to college, I had never had Netflix or really available internet because we just got Wi-Fi at my home in Mechanicsville last year. So we didn't have internet at my house, and like we didn't have cable until I was probably around 12. And then I got Netflix when I came to college. So I like went crazy, and I binge watched like 10 different shows like off the bat. Like in the first like month, I went crazy, guys. I had no social life because I was like trying to catch up so I could have a social life. And Grey's Anatomy, I got really attached to the characters. And Grey's Anatomy, for those of you who do know what it is, it's very like emotional. They kill off characters like this and that, and like they don't care about their characters, but then they do, and they make all these beautiful stories, and like you become like a surgeon at Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital, and you're like, I'm a part of these people, and it's really hard to see them like die and like to see what they go through, and it's like, no. I get very attached to movies too, so like, have you seen Baby Driver?
I've been planning to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it came out over summer. That is probably in my top 3 movies now. Just because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack to that is very well made. And as a comm student, I don't know if you do this. I do this all the time. I pick apart commercials, TV shows, movies. I'm like, oh, that's product placement. That angle probably could have used a little more rule of third right there. They could have like blown out the lights and like made their face a little prettier in that shot. And it's like no one likes watching TV or movies with me because I just like pick them apart. Like I watched La La Land last night with some friends, and that is a beautifully made movie because in La La Land they shot it in black and white, and they keyed in the colors. So like all the colors of the outfits, they like went in and edited those in. Like no color was shot with it. So like, and it's beautiful. That's shot beautifully. And I was like, oh, it's a really good movie too, guys. It really tore me apart. Like I was really upset after the end of that movie. But it was good. It was good. I get really attached to things.
Let's see. I had a thing I was gonna say. Have you seen It?
Yeah, I actually went and saw it last weekend with my friend Kyle because he told me that it sucked, and I was like, no, it's gonna be great. So I had to like drag him along with me to go see it, and it really got me. I love scary movies. That's probably like my biggest like favorite genre. I like comedy and horror, and it's got a lot of jump scares in it. It is a very well made movie, and it's really really funny. Like some of the parts are really funny, but there are some really big jump scares that really I jump and I like hit people when I jump because that was my phone. That scared me.
It's Pennywise.
Yeah, like, for real.
A red balloon floats in.
Oh no, I'm not about that. I would be so gone. I just can't stand in horror movies. Like this little kid's gonna walk up to like the haunted house and like, you know that it's haunted. Why are you gonna walk up towards the house and like pull that? And you know what's going to happen, and then you're going to be scared. You should know that house at the end of the street that's partially burned down and locked up, you shouldn't go near because obviously something's wrong there. There's going to be a clown in the backyard. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, horror movie logic is actually my favorite thing to talk about because it's like they'll start screaming down the hallway, like, is anyone there? And the robber is just going to, like, come in and be like, yeah, I'm in the kitchen. Like, no, that's not how it works, lady. If you hear something, you go hide under your blanket. That's what I do.
And then if they can't see you, then you can't see. If you can't see them, then they can't see you. That's how that works.
That is very true.
Yeah, very true.
It's like video game logic.
Yeah. So,
Oh, obviously, I can see them, but they can't see me, so that means I'm good.
Yeah. Was I was hoping you'd say no, I haven't seen it, and I'd say seen what?
Oh,
I've done that like 3 times.
that's a good one. I want to start using that, David. That's good.
All right, well, you have to pay me each time.
Oh no,
Like
okay, I
$2.95.
can't do that. I'm sorry. I am poor. I have enough food to eat. I mean, enough money to eat food, and that's about it.
You
and
have
pay
enough
for my
money to
gas.
eat. You can eat money.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's good.
Yeah. See, what have I watched recently? I've watched Dirty Wars, which is this documentary by Jeremy Scahill. It's kind of like documentaries about like government and military and wars are like something I've taken interest in. So, Dirty Wars is kind of like about the war on terror and the kind of ethical dilemmas involved in it and things like that. So it's really good. It's like if I'm the person, like if I see something that kind of like makes me mad, I have to like pause the movie and stand up and like walk around, pace around 3 times. That's
like
the
think
kind
about
of
it.
movie.
Like I gotta like get this out before I like continue, so I don't have to worry about it. I do that too. Like I'm gonna have to pause for a minute. I do that during like movies about animals because I get like really frustrated.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like I love movies about animals because I love animals, but I hate when animals have to work. And I know like the dog movies, the dogs have to work. I love documentaries. Me and my roommate Anna, like we've been roommates since freshman year, and like that was like one of our biggest bonding things. Is like we would pick documentaries and watch them together, and then we'd like vent about how like insane that was, or how like we need to help orca whales now because of that documentary. I just watched one on The Shining. That's on Hulu. It was like room 207 or like 297, and it's like this whole like how The Shining was put together, like why it was like such a big deal for like the time period, which The Shining is probably my favorite scary movie that's like ever existed because it's so well made. And it was so like innovative and like get under your skin kind of horror movie that I wanted to keep learning more about it. So like I'm so glad they made that documentary. It was really good. I highly suggest it. It's on Hulu. If you have a Spotify account, like a student Spotify account now, you get free Hulu. So public service announcement, free Hulu.
Thank you, Spotify representative. Real quick, we're going to go to a public service announcement. So, here, I'm going to bring that out for you. Let's see. Here we are.
This public service announcement is brought to you by Phi Mu Delta Fraternity. Josh Bolt is a brilliant kid from Buckingham County who currently suffers from cerebral palsy and requires volunteers, donations, or both to help him with medical expenses and physical therapy exercises. If you have time or money to give, please contact the Josh Bolt team at their Facebook page, Joshua Needs You. We are always in need of volunteers or donations for medical equipment.
Okay, there we go. And coming back, we're just going to give a quick disclaimer here that did not play at the beginning.
The statements, views, and opinions contained on this radio show are those of the DJs and are not endorsed by, nor do they reflect, the opinions of WMLU, WMRA, or Long University.
All right, and with that, we are back. On the subject of documentaries, I just remembered one of my favorite documentary things is this YouTube channel called Xbox Ahoy, and it's like incredible because it doesn't like feature there's no live action stuff in it. It's entirely just stuff that this guy draws in like Illustrator or Photoshop or something, and if you can hear his golden voice here.
The future is uncertain. Nobody really knows what lies around the corner. But there's never any harm in being well prepared. The P90. An odd-looking weapon with some equally unusual traits.
So there's this guy, Xbox Ahoy. He does things mostly about video games and culture and things like that. And that's from his series Iconic Arms, which is about firearms in video games. But he's also done things about the bow and arrow and that. It's insane. Like, he has this feature length thing on both the games Doom and Quake, and it's saying it's like an hour and a half long thing, like you would see in a movie theater, and it's like TJ Wingert, except more so.
TJ.
Shout out to TJ.
Oh, TJ. The golden boy. He has that good voice. He does color commentary. He is our sports director. We're very lucky to have him.
Mhm.
TJ, if you're listening, go sports. Yeah, sports.
Go sports. Go
Yeah.
sports.
Yeah, sports.
Yeah.
I consider myself as like a person who's not like dedicated to video games, but I know a lot about video games. You know, like my brother is like very into video games, so I've obviously played a lot of video games. I own my own Xbox One. I have a Wii. I've got a bunch of different systems and consoles to play games on. I had a DS until I was like 17 because I had like Animal Crossing, and Animal Crossing is like my favorite thing ever. Because you get to design little houses and stuff, and you'll run around the town. It's great and make friends. Because, like, obviously I was on a video game. I wasn't making friends in real life, but, like, I can make friends there. But it was good. I recently played the game Outlast.
Oh,
That
I
is
forgot about that.
Scary.
That's really good. I've
That
been
is
playing
very
to play that.
scary. I was like, I'm the kind of person who I love scary things, but like I jump really easy, as like I said before. And like when something scary in the game happens, the controller would shake, and like I would like freak out. I'd throw the controller, and I'd be like, "Oh no, now I'm dead. I got to start over again." And I never finished because like it's taken me so long to like get through that. I did beat Grand Theft Auto 5 like fully. I beat it myself because I was lit about it. I love driving like the little cars around and like building houses and buying stuff. And there's a dog on there you can train with an app on your phone. So there's like so many different aspects. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. I don't really have like the financial assets for an Xbox One or whatever right now. So I just play on my computer, which limits me to things like Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, things like that. But I did recently finish Doom, the first Doom.
I have not played Doom yet.
Doom is good. It's scary, but it's also like it's not too scary, but there are like some elements where like throws you off guard. Like there's this part where there's a maze and you're walking through this room that's filled with these columns, and you can't really see where you're going because the lights keep flashing and there's demons all around you going stuff like that.
They're going what, David?
They're like they make growling noises like and stuff like that, and they like like that.
Oh, that's great. No, that's great.
Hire me for your nat sound things, people.
Oh,
your
nat
natural
sound.
sound in your communication studies classes. Your natural sound.
All right, David, I have a question for you.
Shannon, I might have an answer for you.
Do you go to like the Halloween haunts at like King's Dominion or like Busch Gardens?
I was in Halloween Haunt.
Oh my gosh.
I was a bellhop monster in
Oh
this
my
maze
gosh.
thing.
This is something I didn't need to know that I needed to know. You know what I mean? Like now that I know about it, I have to know so much. All right, so like what did you have to wear? Like makeup wise, what did you have to do?
I looked like I was a bellhop in this kind of hotel theme maze. So if you remember Esteban from Sweet Life, Zack and Cody?
Yes.
Which is like
Esteban Hula Montoyo.
Yes. This is like the Shakespeare of modern times.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Maybe Shrek is better, but you know.
Oh, we can't diss our Shrek.
So yeah. So I look like that, except it's more kind of a burgundy color instead of green.
Were you like a zombie kind of deal?
Yeah, like my face was white and stuff. And
Did you have like fake wounds and stuff?
Yeah, I did. And a friend of mine from school came through the maze and she didn't know it was me, but I like said, I saw her and I just popped out and I said, "Hi, Rebecca!" And just like loud enough that everyone in the maze could hear me. So like the next guy down the line was like, "Hi, Rebecca, how are you today?" And then the next person says the same way. I had told her the next day at school, and she's like, Oh my god.
That is the most fantastic thing I've ever heard, David.
Yeah.
I'm actually so happy.
I was
Because those are my favorite things to go through. I love going to like Scarefest and like Halloween Haunt and I've said like 8 times on this show today that I love scary things.
Mhm.
But I like to be scared. I know that I jump and I like make a big scene about it, but I like it. I like to be scared.
my
Because
favorite.
It's
Oh,
an
I'm sorry.
emotion. No, you're good.
My favorite thing was that the floor under me was hollow, so I had these big, thick work boots, so I could slam my foot in the ground. It sounds like a shotgun or something.
David, I think you need to like find a recording of you doing this and like post it everywhere because I want to see it. Like you should work there again.
Yeah.
Like apply to work there now, and like be a monster so I can like
I'll try to do
so you
that.
can go. I'll get scared by David. Oh, that's like my goal. All right, you have to go work there
Yeah.
again. I'm sorry. This is what you have to do now.
I was in I was the hyena man in The Island of Dr. Moreau in high school. Have you ever heard of that show or play?
No, I haven't. What is it about?
It's based on a book by H.G. Wells, and there's this guy this British man who is shipwrecked on this island, and it's implied that he like eats the guy who was in the lifeboat with him. So there's that, and so everyone on this island is there's like only 2 actual people on this island other than him. This insane doctor. He's a vivisectionist, so he like performs experiments on live animals without anesthetic.
Oh no.
And his assistant, and there's these creatures, these wild animals he takes, and he has altered their muscles and bone structure and everything so that they walk upright like human beings and they
Oh, no.
speak and stuff like that. And so I was a hyena,
I'm
And
not about that, dude.
and I did like this great laugh that everyone like
oh my
loved.
god.
It was
Oh my
like
god. Please do the laugh.
I'm trying to like kind of like. So I can't do it. It was bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm
It was
so
much
lit.
better. It was much better when I was like in like a thing that was designed for a thing.
Yeah,
And I
that's
was-
true.
I haven't
Like
done.
when you're in the element, you know. Like,
yeah, I haven't done theater stuff in a while. So like, yeah.
I never did theater in high school or middle school, but I did do show choir,
Mm-hmm.
which is almost like theater, except for there's no talking. We just sing a lot,
Yeah.
and we pick like songs and dance to them, and we tell a story through like different songs.
Mhm.
So like being on stage is like very like there's like a certain feeling about it, like a nostalgia to it about like the lights
Mhm.
and like the actual stage and like seeing everybody out there, like, and you don't see them, you see like the outline of people, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, there's a lot of people out here. I better not mess up.
Mhm.
Like, but I've always like loved plays. Right now, Longwood has Macbeth going on. Really good. Everyone should go see it. Our music director, Aaron, is in it. But I like, my cousin is in like the Sea Works, like they're like these big plays in like Richmond, and like I would go see her a lot. I recently went and saw like a Broadway show that came to like Richmond because I love plays that much. And when I went to New York, of course, I had to see like 2 different Broadway shows and an opera because it's like that's what you got to do. But
You're gonna be so jealous of me
Oh,
when
no.
I tell you that I saw Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
oh, I am jealous. I got to see Lion King.
Oh,
That
that's
was
cool.
pretty
I wanna
good.
see that.
And then what else did I see? Oh my gosh, I have the booklets at home. It wasn't as big at the time. Nonsense.
I think I've heard of that. I might have seen.
I think
that
that's what it's called, but like it had Raven Simone in it, so it was cool. I got to see that. It was cool. But I don't know. There's just something about like plays that I like. Like I love movies. I am a movie holic, as I would describe myself, because like I used to, like I said before, I had no cable, so we would get DVDs and we'd watch movies, and
While
there
you're
was
living
like
out in the woods like Ted Kaczynski or something.
I live in the middle of nowhere, David. I live in the woods on a river in Mechanicsville, Virginia, like 30 minutes outside of Richmond. And you wouldn't think that'd be like very rural, but like, I mean, I have goats and chickens and like all these animals out run around, and I live around a cornfield to my left and a cornfield to my right, and what's in front of me? A cornfield. So there's just so much corn, or sometimes there's soybeans. It depends on the season. But yeah, it depends on the season. And like there's nothing around. Like I have no neighbors, so it's like I was always really jealous of like little kids who had like lived in a neighborhood and they were already friends with like people in their neighborhood when they got to school, because I was like, who are these people? Like, wow, new people, and they had already like made friends like 2 years ago in like preschool, and I was like, dang, I missed out. But I'm sorry for coughing so much. I'm getting over my laryngitis still. Like I've been coughing all week. I went a week without talking, really. I mean, like, I still talked, but, like, my voice was not there, which was very hard for a radio host.
You're
to
just like a
have
mime.
no
You're just
voice.
like a mime.
I would do my best, and that's what was sad. I wanted, like, you could tell that I wanted to talk, like, the whole time, because, like, I'm a talker. That's why I have a radio show where I talk all the time. It's called Keeping It Blunt with Shannon Blunt, Tuesdays, shameless plug, 7 o'clock. But it was rough because I couldn't talk. And I'm still getting over it, but I got my voice back just in time to get a solo in my a cappella group. And so if you come to Oktoberfest at 12:20, I'll be performing my solo right off the bat. First thing to go on.
Good.
So,
Everyone, mark your calendars and see Shannon.
yeah, I'm going to shameless plug it everywhere I go. So everyone should come see me at 12:20.
Good.
You know who else I saw on Broadway? This is actually off Broadway, but it was still in the area. I saw Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart in Waiting for Godot.
That sounds like, what is that about?
It's an absurdist play from Russia. So there's these two guys, and they're waiting for someone called Godot. And spoiler alert, everyone, but this has been out since like the early 1900s, so you've had your chance to see it.
You've had your chance.
Yeah, but the guy Godot never shows up, and they're just like doing all these funny, silly, stupid things while they're waiting for him to show up, and he never does.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the weather? Let's hit the weather up.
Thought we already did that.
Yeah, we got to do it at the 30-minute mark.
Oh, that's right. My mistake. Let's look at the weather. Oh, this is being stopped. Let's see. Your weather for right now is 71 degrees, and it is clear. And we have a high of 78 and a low of 52. And tomorrow, same as before, is mostly sunny with a high of 73, low of 45. That's your weather.
I am so excited that it's going to start getting colder. It is almost, October is tomorrow, like almost, like, is it?
Mm-hmm.
October is Sunday. Yeah, October starts Sunday. And it needed to be cold, like, at least 3 weeks ago. And it's been, like, it was 90 degrees this week.
It feels
And
like, yeah.
I'm not okay with that. Like, I pulled out my, like, boots and stuff for fall and my leggings. And I was like, I don't have my shorts out anymore. I'm not going to wear shorts, but it was hot. And, like, I'm going tailgating tomorrow for the Hampton City game. And I'm super excited because I can wear, like, you know, like more fall clothes, like fall into fall clothing. I have to do a little dance when I do that, and it's just like a shoulder nod. But it's like I'm so tired. It was hot for so long. This has to have been one of the hottest summers that I've like experienced in my lifetime. And I was like so over it because I love summer to death. Don't get me wrong, but my favorite season is fall because fall is the prettiest. Fall is the most comfortable weather, and like fall is like I want to say almost like the best foods because you get like Thanksgiving foods, you know, and it's just like pie. And I mean, I'm not a person that likes pumpkin spice, but I understand why people do like pumpkin spice things. It's okay. I'm not a huge fan of it, which like makes no sense because I definitely look like I would be a fan of pumpkin spice lattes.
You look like a pumpkin spice latte person.
Yeah, I do, but I can't stand them. I'm a caramel person. I'll get the caramel mochas. And like everyone else can have pumpkin spice. I'll just take all of the caramel. But I'm definitely excited for it to start getting cold. And I love snow, so as soon as winter hits, I'm going to be expecting like snow. But like last year we didn't get much snow, but the year before we had a blizzard. So we're going back and forth, and I haven't decided how I like that. I don't think I do. I like consistency with my weather patterns.
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine she actually transferred last year to another school, but she was really into coffee. She was like queen of all coffee, and she would have really had like an hour. She could have had an hour-long discussion with you about coffee.
Pumpkin spice and
About-
coffee.
but yeah, about the difference between pumpkin spice and caramel. She was doing a research paper for her anthropology class about coffee, and just coffee.
I actually like. I always like. I tried to drink coffee in high school. Like I tried to drink it, and I was like couldn't get into it. And then I got to college, and I was like, well, let me try this again. Freshman year, tried coffee with my suite mate. Had a Keurig in her room. I didn't have one. My roommate doesn't drink coffee, so I didn't have one. So I tried some coffee from her. So I was like, this is still nasty. Wow, not missing much. But then like last year, because my life started getting hectic around sophomore year, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to suck it up and drink coffee so I can like actually get my stuff done. And I found out that like creamer is my lifesaver. I'm the kind of person that likes a little coffee with my creamer, and saved my life. I now drink coffee at least like every other day, if not every day, because like my days start around like 9 a.m. and they end around 4 in the morning the next day. So I'm up like crazy amounts of time doing artwork and doing communication stuff. I'll be in here editing till like 4 in the morning most of the time because it's like I'm a nitpicker. I like to make sure things are like almost perfect, if not perfect. And then like art is really like time consuming. So like there's that. So
Yeah. I got more into coffee kind of over the summer. I was working at Wawa, and when we were there on our lunch breaks, we could have free drinks as long as they were from this machine. And one of the things the machine made was coffee. So I had like mint mocha iced coffee. And so I'd have
there's
that.
so many names like
Yeah.
mint mocha iced caramel frappe, like frappuccino, like caramel iced macchiato is like such a long name for a drink.
Yeah.
Like they're so long. They're so extra about coffee, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I just want some coffee.
Yeah, but I had that like each day at lunch, and I feel like I had like 5-hour energy for blood or things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I can like coffee. It gives me enough caffeine, but it doesn't make me like hyper. Soda will give me a rush of caffeine for a short period of time. I cannot drink Monster or Red Bull or 5-star energy drinks because I go insane. And it's not like it gives me so much energy that I want to go like do laps outside, not like actually get my work done. Coffee gives me the like, all right, I've got this boost of energy to get my work done. Well, like if I took a chug of Red Bull, I'd be like, I'm going to go run across to Ruffner Fountain and do a lap around there, and I'm going to jump in the fountain and run back, and I'm going to have a great time doing it. And it's like, I remember one time, like, when I first started drinking, like, energy drinks, because, you know, it was cool to drink energy drinks in, like, high school, because you were, like, it's all about, like, killing your body slowly with chemicals. And I drank, like, 5 Red Bulls in one day. I swear I didn't sleep for, like, 3 days, because I was just, like, too about it. I was too up, too woke. Too woke with the Red Bull. But coffee is a good happy medium of my energy caffeine intake.
I remember in middle school, they introduced energy drinks. They had a whole vending machine with energy drinks. And I had one of those energy drinks from there. It was pretty good. But then that was the one and only energy drink I had in middle school, because then they removed that thing because some guy had too many of them at once.
Well, I don't know why they would give middle schoolers energy drinks in the first place. That wasn't someone's best choice, because like middle schoolers have enough energy. We don't need to have like 12-year-olds bouncing off the walls when they're already bouncing off the walls in the first place. Like, gosh, I can't even imagine. Like, some little kids drink coffee, and that really bothers me. I'm like, you don't need it. You get naps. We don't get as many naps as you. I actually took a nap today, which is like a big deal for me because I don't nap, because I have this thing like I can't sleep unless it's like pitch black. So like I don't nap, but like I passed out on my sofa at home today, like in the bright sun. I was like, you know what? Now's a good time to nap. So I napped, and it was great. I woke up at 6:15 and I got here at 6:45. All ready to go.
I love the idea of a 12-year-old with coffee, and he's like, I like to think of him as like he's a CEO, except he's 12 years old and he has a suit and a cigarette he puts out on someone's face, and he's like,
On someone's face, David.
he's like-
David.
it's like it's a tough corporate environment here, you know, Shannon.
Like Boss Baby. Have you seen Boss Baby?
No, I don't think so.
I've only seen like commercials for it, but it's the baby that wears the suit. It's played by Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin plays a baby, like an animated baby who's like an actual corporate dude, like for baby industries. But I digress. Baby wears a suit. It's great. I'm just trying to picture like kids with coffee because I worked at a summer camp this past summer where I was like an instructor of I would have like 30 to 40 kids under my supervision at one time, and they were insane. So like imagining some of the like problem kids, you know, like the ones that are like don't pay attention as much, obviously like act out a little. Imagining them with coffee, I think I wouldn't have been able to make it through my job. Because like I had to have like 2 cups of coffee a day to make it through that job. It was from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then I'd have to like work some weekends. It just depended, and it was like horrible.
Speaking of jobs, so this reminded me of Wawa again. I'll ask you like tell me more about work things in a second.
Did you
here.
work at Wawa?
I did work at Wawa.
Oh my gosh, David.
So
I'm finding out so many things about you.
so many things, yeah. So the worst thing about working at Wawa is selling the cigarettes. So there's these cigarettes, right? And there's this big like tower of cigarettes, and one of the new employees that was hired with me there, he looked at it and said like, that's a huge tower of cancer right there. and so there's like different kinds of cigarettes, like there'll be Marlboro Red or something like that, which is different from your original vanilla bland Marlboro.
I know nothing about
Yeah,
cigarettes.
but the thing is, visually it's exactly the same except for one silver stripe. There's no like words or packaging on there, or there rarely is to like differentiate it. So then you just pick one almost entirely as a guess, and like the guy, some like raspy voiced guy will be like, "No, that's the wrong one," or something like that.
People are very particular about things. Like, I know I have to have like a certain type of Capri Sun. I mean, like we can't compare Capri Sun to cigarettes, but like I have to have the Pacific Cool or else I can't drink Capri Suns. Like if someone's like, "Oh, we have like water and Capri Sun," obviously you're gonna go for the Capri Sun because Capri Sun is good juice. But like if it's like I reach in and it's like fruit punch or like kiwi quencher, and I'm like, "No, this is not Pacific Cooler." Pacific Cooler is the best. I'll fight people over that too, because that's like, it should be known that it's the best.
The best thing about working at Wawa and selling cigarettes there is when like there's this guy, he'll come in and he'll order 5 cartons of cigarettes. So you can all the cigarettes come in cartons. You don't know this because you don't sell cigarettes to people. But so they come. There's the box of cigarettes you have, and all those boxes come in a big carton, like yay long, things like that.
I have seen cartons
Yeah,
of cigarettes.
so you can buy up to 5 of those at once. If you buy more, they're usually like going to sell them illegally or something. But then people buy that and they'll pay, and that costs about like $235.
Oh my goodness.
And so people pay entirely in dollar bills with that, for that. So one guy paid for it once in pennies or like coins.
Oh, honey, no.
And then they'll come back the very next day having figured out finish off all those cigarettes, and they buy the exact same thing again.
Oh my gosh. Ugh, cigarettes are so bad for y'all.
Don't do
Like-
drugs, kids. Winners don't do drugs.
Winners don't do drugs.
So what's your craziest like work thing? You talked a bit about it.
So I've had a couple jobs in the past. Like obviously right now my job is like radio. No one's done anything crazy here yet, so like I'm keeping my eyes on y'all. But let's see, I worked for Kohl's for a while, like Kohl's department store.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in the shoe department.
Mm-hmm.
And people like steal shoes
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And you know what they do? They take their old gross shoes and they put them in the box. And they put the box back, and they take the new shoes, put them on their feet, and like run out. And there's like we would have to go check we would have to put like the shoes back into where they were supposed to be, and you'd open a box to like see what shoe is in it, and you'd get this like giant whiff of like nasty feet odor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like the worst thing that you could smell on the planet. And you were like, oh no, someone stole these shoes, and they were always gross and they smelled so bad. Like, those are nasty. And then this past summer I worked with kids. So that's always a trip in itself because you never know what kids are gonna say, you know. So like you just have to watch yourself.
All right. We're gonna give you another public service announcement real quick here. And then we'll come back.
Is this a dagger which I see before me?
Double toil and trouble.
The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still.
Fire, bird, and cauldron bubble.
If we should fail,
We fail? But screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail.
Longwood Theatre proudly presents William Shakespeare's classic tragedy, Macbeth. Performances will be held Wednesday through Saturday at 7 p.m., with matinee performances on Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Tickets are $10 for general admission, $8 for senior citizens, Longwood faculty, staff, and non-Longwood students, and $6 for Longwood students. Come experience this theatrical masterpiece and secure your tickets before they vanish into thin air.
All right. That was Aaron Bernstein, our music director. He is in Macbeth. Really good. Y'all should see it. Unfortunately, I think they've sold. I mean, like, this is good, but I think they've sold out of all their performances.
Oh, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, so I don't think you can get tickets anymore. But like,
That was a wasted public service announcement.
no, it's still like bring knowledge to the Longwood Theater. They do some good performances. I've seen a couple of theirs. They're good. I highly suggest. Like, they put a lot of work into it. I actually recently wrote a paper on it. Macbeth goes out with McBang, what I was talking about earlier. And I like did more of a feature piece on like how long they've been working into it, and it's been 5 weeks they've been rehearsing, and it turned out really well for like that short amount. That's a short amount of time. And their auditions were like the first week of school, like the first day back, so they had to be prepared. Also, saying 5 weeks of school, we are halfway through our semester. David, did you know that? And
I didn't realize that.
midterm
Right.
grades come out like either today or Monday.
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 I need to work on improving things. I'll tell you that.
Right now, I've got all A's at the moment, and I'm very happy with myself because this is where I need to be. And for those of you who follow me on Snapchat, like most people do,
Most people follow you on Snapchat.
most people do. I'm
Most
that
people.
cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I always post the time I go to bed almost because I'm like, I go to bed at such weird times. Like the other day, I left French Hall at 4:45 in the morning. I got home at 5, didn't go to sleep till 6, had to get up at 8. I was rough day, but my art project got like 100 on it, guys, so I had to like cut out pins out of a magazine. It's good. It was good. I really liked it.
That's cool. We cut out pins out of a magazine like you mean the staples or something that hold it together?
No, it's like we had a magazine, and I picked an object that was like common in magazines, so like pins, like writing pins.
Oh, okay.
And I had to cut them out precisely, so there was no white. They just look like a paper pen, and I had to glue them in a design to like, because it's a concept of design class, so it's like a visually aesthetic, pleasing thing, and it's like I had to make this like really pretty design with these pins, and it took me a long time to find out like where the pen should go. It's huge too. It's like it's 17 by 14 inches, so it's pretty big. I was tired, but it looks really good, and I'm really happy with it.
That's really cool, yeah.
It's fun.
Let's see. What other fun things are going on? We've got about 10 minutes left. Let's see.
You
Or about
wrong. We have 5
5
minutes.
minutes. 5 minutes. You know, I was thinking before. Let's see.
Well, we recently. You're in Professor Halliday's media production class, correct?
I am indeed.
All right. What was your group story that you did? Because we did with my group the Longwood University Police Department was understaffed for over a year, and they recently just hired new recruits, so we did that. That's pretty good.
Let's see. We were talking about, what was it? It's on the tip of my tongue. The guy, oh no. Was this, Was this the news one or the feature thing?
The
client,
news.
Client thing. Okay.
The news, not
the
the
news.
client.
Yeah, that was. It was about the new Brock Hall that's being put together, the new Student
Yeah.
Success Center.
Oh yeah, that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be like open soon. Like
Mhm.
I think in the next like semester.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going here on Longwood. Like the Up Church, like our new student union is gonna be up next year, and there's gonna be a Panda Express. So obviously we know where Shannon's gonna spend most of her time
Mm-hmm.
in the Panda Express eating food.
when
Panda-
does that come out again?
I think fall 2018.
Oh.
So like it'll be like next.
I'll be gone.
Yeah, you'll be gone. Sorry, David.
Wow.
You don't get Panda. Only I get Panda. It's all for me. It's my favorite food.
You should mail me something from Panda Express.
I feel like it would be gross by the time it got to you because it's like gone through the postal system.
Well, it's the thought that counts, Shannon.
I mean, if you really want me to mail you some orange chicken and an egg roll and get it in 2 weeks, I'm sure I could arrange that. I don't know how healthy that would be or how yummy that would be.
Probably be pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would not be yummy.
Let's see. And then what's your client thing you're doing for that project?
We finished. I was the first group to do the client thing, so we finished ours. We did an interview with 2 girls who go to Longwood. They're on the field hockey team. They're both from Dusseldorf, Germany, and they grew up together. And somehow they both ended up here at Longwood, playing field hockey together because they grew up playing field hockey together. And then we interviewed Dan Campos. He's from Norway. He's Norwegian, and he's the captain of the soccer team. And we just interviewed him on like what his captain style is, like what his life here in America is compared to like Norway. It was good. They really liked it. They've already thrown them up on their websites for the Big South and stuff like that. So it's good. I really had fun with that because we got to work in the new studio downstairs with like the big cameras, like the ones where like they're on wheels because you can't pick them up. And I had fun. That's like another thing I'm very passionate about. Have you done your
Rolly cameras?
Rolly cameras. Yeah, Rolly cameras. I really like. I feel that. I feel the need. But have you done your client proposal yet, or like client project?
Yeah, we're working on that. We're getting, we've done the interview. We're talking to Brian G. He's for those of you who don't know, he's a player on the Longwood men's basketball team here. And he had a lung condition that kept him out for, I'm trying to remember if it was just a semester or a year.
I think it was a year because someone wrote a piece on it, but I'm not positive either.
A year sounds right. Yeah, that makes more sense. So there's that. So we kind of interviewed him and stuff like that. And so one of the guys in our group is on the men's basketball team as well. It's Jaleem. Shout out to Jaleem. It's apparently Jaleem.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to know. I've only talked to him a couple of times, but he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's very nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
The comm department's all pretty close together. You know?
Yeah.
We're all pretty. We all know each other.
Pretty laid back.
We're all here all the time. People obviously people walk by the radio office, and I'm always there in the little fish tank of our office, like doing work, and I'm always waving at people. So like, I'm that girl that waves.
It's probably bad that I tapped the glass then.
Yeah, no, it scares me. Like, ooh.
I just came up and you're like, ah.
Yeah, I was tired today. It was a rough day.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What'd you do?
Are we out of time?
We may be out of time.
Oh no.
It is 7:58. That's sad. What did you do over there? Are we still on the air?
Yeah, we're still there.
Okay, I was like, you took a thing out there, and I was like, what did you do?
Oh, we're not even messing with this. This is
okay.
not even an issue.
I thought you just like pulled the plug on the entire thing. Like
no, I did hit your headphone jack a minute ago, and I can hear it. There's like a static when you hit the headphone jack.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying. I'm very confused on why our lights won't turn back on. They turned off at the very beginning. They're not clap lights, David. They turned off at the very beginning, and I've been like waving because they're motion sensor. They're not coming back on. It's very like concerning.
Yeah, that's not turning on. Oh well, we can see well enough.
Yeah,
all right.
that's true.
Well, looks like we've got about a minute left. Any last minute things you want to say?
Shout out to all the listeners out here listening to DJ Pettyjohn and DJ Blunt up in here.
DJ Blunt.
Listen, we're throwing down the beats, so thanks for listening. I hope you guys tune in next week
Yeah.
and have a great week.
Yes. Thank you. You have a great week too, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right. And I'll see everyone. Goodbye, and have a lovely night. Stay safe out there and everything. And here we go.
Thank you for listening to student programming on WMLU 91.3 FM, the music of Long University and Farmville, Virginia. For program information,